How the Civil War draft incite violence in New York City. Let's get into it, folks. And don't forget to subscribe, folks, to this channel.
In early 1863, Commander-in-Chief Lincoln and his Union generals faced a huge problem: running out of troops. It's difficult for me to get my head around the number of dead and wounded on both sides. Short on volunteers, Congress instituted a military draft. July 11, 1863, just days after Gettysburg, draft wheels like this one rolled into the most crowded Union city, home to more immigrants than any other, New York. While the rich could pay a fine to avoid service, many poor had to enlist.
For the working class community of New York City, especially the Irish, they felt that it fell on them in a disproportionate or unfair way.
From the bottom rung of white society, Irish immigrants, the poorest New Yorkers, had a long and violent history with the only group below them, African Americans. Fears that newly freed blacks would pour into the city and take jobs from whites reached a boiling point. For New York's large Irish population, the draft turned friction into fire.
The fear was that many people saw that draft as, oh, you are now forcing us to fight for the freedom of black Americans. And in New York City, a riot breaks out.
The protesters quickly gained speed, first setting fire to the draft office, then lashing out at the wealthy and businesses that employed blacks. Within hours, the chaos reached the factory of piano maker William Steinway.
Monday, terrible excitement throughout the city.
Today, his diary provides a chilling account.
Resistance to the draft.
Rows of buildings on 3rd Avenue burning down.
When the mob arrived on their doorstep, Steinway's brother, Charles, paid them off.
Charles gave the ringleaders $20 to $40 in money and won a check for $30.
That was kind of a lot of money, wasn't it?
It was. I couldn't put it in terms of their pay per day, but it was a lot.
But money could not subdue the rage.
Soldiers with cannon marching down 3rd Avenue.
All business in the upper part of the city suspended. Negroes chased everywhere, killed when caught.
A lynch mob roamed the city. A black orphanage was burned to the ground. They murdered anyone, black or white, who tried to intervene.
It's an example of how tenuous the notion of what the Civil War really was about. For some, they still felt the entire war was only about bringing the Union together, not doing anything for African Americans.
Lincoln ordered federal troops, 4,000 straight from the horrors of Gettysburg, to quell the riots. Just as quickly as hysteria had engulfed the city, it was displaced by a chilling quiet. The final death toll, 120.